So I got myself a set of Stedi 7-inch headlight replacements for the HQ. Those that saw the video last week probably saw it at the end of the straights. As soon as it hit the dark, it was just lights out. The factory HQ headlights just do not cut it. Yeah. So went and got some of the Stedi retro style LED upgrade headlights. Sure, they're not going to be to everyone's taste, but got to be able to see. I live sort of semi-rural. There's no street lights out here. It's dark. It's 100k zones. So a set of these should do the trick. Satisfying. But there are LED high beam, low beam, and there's also a Parker in this particular one. So I'll be able to. My HQ is a 73, so it has a Parker in the headlight. So yeah, high beam, low beam should be direct plug-in plus Parker. Should be a nice upgrade. Nice simple installation. Hopefully, I'll give them a shot, and hopefully they'll make it a bit nicer at night time. I'll start by removing the trim around the headlight. Need a few screws in these little things. Nice and simple to get off. Sort of want to be the whole housing. The globe on these is a sealed beam headlight. There's not much choice really. The whole unit, you have to change the globe, has to come out. So trim ring off. The globe itself, I've got to take off another ring behind that retains the globe. Just going to disconnect the wiring to it first. I've got mine just sort of hidden here next to the relay box I put in for the fan controls and high and low beam instead of running on the factory wiring. So get in here and get this original connector off. Luckily what I'm doing is going to be fully reversible, so I'm not going to get rid of any of this stuff, so it'll be a full factory harness when I want to go back to it. You can see the original little Parker bulb in there. I'll just obviously have to bypass that wiring there somehow and run the extra feed wire over for the Stedis. We'll see how they go, but it should be nice and simple. Get the other side back out now. Two parts to the retaining ring. There's a outer front stainless part. You can see just perimeter around the headlight there, and there's the actual mounting for it that's behind. So I just want to remove the screws that purely hold the retaining ring in, and just get that part of it off only. This is 3 of them. Should be one hiding up the top somewhere. Can't quite see up there. Right up there. There he is. Oh, that's a good noise. At least I heard it hit the ground. That's that globe out. So like the original headlights, the Stedis have locators on the back of the light to place them back into the correct spot. Just little notches on the back, and they align in the housing, factory housing, the same spots. So when you poke it in there, it'll be the correct orientation, so you don't have to worry about not being square. So it drops in, locks in, and that's it. Nice and easy. Sort of nice and easy. Still got to get the screws in there yet. We'll see how they go. Get this trim ring around without scratching the lens. 32 screw, yep, it's in about the right spot. And get a screw started in that, that'll hold it in place for me. The holding ring does sit back a little bit further on the Stedi, seems to be about another 10mm further out. The actual lens of the light from the retaining ring. Hopefully that doesn't affect too much protrusion from the actual light itself. I'm trying to make this not look as ugly as I can on the front, but you know, I guess it's always a compromise on these things, trying to go between good light output and looking sort of original as I can. It's always a battle doing up anything like this, trying to stay between keeping the purists happy and making something speedable and drivable. Oh, I should have started with this top one, this one's a bit of a bugger. I'll have to loosen off the bottom one, see if I can get that one in. Doesn't help that there's no room at the top to get in there. That feels like it might be biting now. That's that one. Go back to the bottom one. Hopefully the lens just goes straight back on. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's out a tiny bit further. Probably not really going to be noticeable once it's done. But clips. That's it at the bottom. Oh. Yep, even that one goes. A bit awkward, but that's in there. That's about how it was. Nice. And that's all in there, nice and solid. Got still at the adjusting points on these, one down the side, one down the bottom. Get it in there, get it out on the road and see where it shines, but in the meantime, just plug it back in. Wiring installation, super simple. The one plug goes in the existing bulb socket. Nice and tight in there. The other one's just a Parker. It's going to take a little bit of messing around, unfortunately. But, a little bit of snipping. We'll put a little terminal on the end of that. See if we can get a Parker bulb to work there. So it's got a bit of little links to that. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that. That'll work. There'll be a whole lot of hate for this, but give that a snip. And I'm just going to scotch lock it. Yeah, these things usually suck, but at the end of the day, this is a Parker. There's going to be no load on this circuit. Not really heavy load on it. Never does happen to fail. It's only a Parker light. It's only not something that's going to be super critical. a little test fire and see if the light turns. That's one side done. We'll flick on the light to see what happens. Yeah, got the partners out. Markers. Already. One thing going on. Yeah, it's definitely right. Certainly look a lot brighter in the shed. I'll tidy up the rest of that wiring, put the other side in, and give it a run. Not too sure how much is coming through in the video, but there is just no comparison between the old halogen sealed beam units to these Stedi lights. These things are just night and day compared to what it is. No pun intended, these things are great. Through that driveway, just the quicker line by eye. The driver's side one was pretty much right, passenger side one needed to go up and out a little bit, but yeah, so close wasn't funny. Compared to the original ones, not a chance. Track now, if I went out there again, next time we go out there, I'll certainly be able to give it a shot. Yeah, totally different. So much nicer. Very nice spread actually, compared to we've got a more modern Isuzu was a projector style LED. It has a very abrupt edge to the lighting. This is quite a nice spread. Certainly not going up too high. Not going to be getting flash weight and what else I don't think. But yeah, quite a nice finish off. It'll be very easy on the eye to drive with. There's plenty of light out on that high beam. That is very nice. Low and the high. Must be out here, it is pitch black, there is no moon, it's a cloudy sky, it is as dark as it gets. And yeah, I can see the sign at the end of my street, that's still a good 400 metres away. Yeah, very happy with that improvement, definitely an upgrade. I guess as far as taste on the front of it, whether you think they look wrong, right, I don't mind. They certainly have that same look I was going for on the car, a bit of a resto mod, slightly different. They certainly don't stand out as much as the full projector style lights. A little bit of a classic appearance to them. I dare say if the Stedi plastic wasn't across the front of it, you probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest. They just look like a very clean set of sealed beam units. But they're not, certainly for the function, I'm not going to complain. They'll stay on there. It's not like I don't have a concourse restoration here. Definitely a resto mod, and it's just another one of those subtle upgrades that make it a whole lot nicer to live with day to day. And you know, these coming home after a nice long cruise or a nice long day, I'll be able to see and won't have to worry about hitting any kangaroos. Well, at least I'll be able to see them before I hit them.